Hi, Chief Roger Martin here. I'd just like to say thank you for allowing us the opportunity to serve our nation and our people. This term has been quite challenging with the ongoing pandemic, but we persevered. With the cooperation and dedication of the administration and its various departments and stakeholders, we managed to accomplish several major milestones in the betterment and advancement of our nation. We'd like to share those accomplishments with you.
I'm here to talk about economic development from the 2019 to 2022 period. I'd like to start out with what we have accomplished during the 3 years of term. We've currently executed a power purchase agreement with Synovus for the Foothills Solar Project, which Cole Lake First Nations has had an investment interest in. Second, we had secured a 25% equity investment into Trappist Lake Solar and Energy Storage Project through an external grant funding. And we have completed an economic development strategic plan. We have also incorporated in the creation of the Cole Lake First Nations Investment Trust to evaluate and oversee investments into new business opportunities. We've also supported planning and execution of Cole Lake First Nations Alberta Site Rehabilitation Funding Allocation to reduce 11 million oil and gas liabilities on the reserve. This program will result in 100 plus well bores decommissioned and 25 well pads reclaimed. We've also supported the rebranding of the Marriott Courtyard Hotel and the buyout of the Marriott and to rebrand to the Denny Hotel and Conference Center. We've completed environmental service partnerships between Nunene Environmental and Envision to form Nunene and Envision Environmental. This will provide work opportunities with the SRP and local industries in the oil field. And maybe in the future, it'll provide services to the carbon capture. It also, going forward, be used in partnership with Casino Denny to greatly increase the tourism opportunities. And one of the things that we have done was to kind of reorganize the elders' care budget and programs in 2022. The amalgamation of 5 Synovus agreements into one so that it can be used going into the 2022 a little bit more easily to be read and understood from the next council and the next chief. And it's more direct so that you can understand where you could amend certain areas of the oil industry through Synovus. The investment trust and education trust, we have established that we had removed one of the investors and we only have one investor, and we have increased from 2019 from 22 million to 27 million. That was from this term, there was me and Gina, and we had brought in 2 new board members. So that's all I have to say with this.
Hello, Travis Machatis here. Hello, everyone. I'm just going to be reading going forward in 2022 to 2025 in support for the next chief and council. Implement economic development strategic plan recommendations. Continue to apply for external funding to support economic development initiatives, advanced workforce development and management training initiatives for Cold Lake First Nations and Cold Lake First Nations owned businesses. Work with Department and National Defense to increase contracting opportunities for Cold Lake First Nation businesses at CFB Cold Lake. Wi-Fi, broadband, high-speed internet phase 3 will be completed by the end of the summer. Engage industry, government, and financial entities to assist Cold Lake First Nations as an equity investor in major projects throughout Alberta. Areas of focus are carbon capture, utilization and storage, renewable energy, and transmission utilities. Increased focus on 2 key economic development areas for Cold Lake First Nations: tourism and food production. Evaluate opportunities to fulfill economic development, department mandate of diversity, Cold Lake First Nations business portfolio, while creating employment for nation members and revenues for Cold Lake First Nation. Thank you, everyone.
Good day, everybody. I'm Gina Russell. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for allowing me to serve the community. And I'm going to go through integrated services, which include social, FCSS, health, elders, and youth. The Elders Care Program has transitioned from a standalone program and was in hiatus for 2 years during the pandemic. And on April 9th, 2022, the program will provide non-medical social support services and meet the needs of the elders and the chronically ill and disabled persons residing on reserve. Another huge success is the implementation of Family Community Support Services Department. It has expanded its mandate, and the 4 key sub-departments were established. The first one was the Justice, Criminal Supports and Family Court Supports, Kinship, Family Advocacy and Kinship Families on and off reserve, Community Support, Essential Needs Supports, Food Hampers to families on and off reserve, as well as intervention, prevention programs, and supports to keep our children at home. What FCSS has also done has hosted a coming home ceremony in February 2022 for 7 families with children returning from care. They've also identified significantly more nation members, children in care that was not reported, and created a database to track this. They've also purchased an isolation center, which was then repurposed into our new wellness center, where now it houses Dene Wellness and our mental health workers. They also, right next to it is the gymnasium, which was the original old band office, which is now a training center, which is open to everybody on the nation. They also constructed a COVID testing area at the health center. They kept all nation staff employed throughout the duration of the pandemic lockdown. The assisted living program will work together with the health center staff and provide the necessary care for the home care clients and share pertinent information for the safety, special needs, and well-being of the elders, chronically ill, and disabled members in their care. Developing jurisdiction law that will give CLFN autonomy over children's services. Building a skate park on CLFN reserve lands here in the south, and developing further recreation facilities. Presently, we have an individual, Scott Buchanan, who is working with the nation to pursue our own tribal police, which will benefit us because of the rampant alcohol and drug situation that we're constantly living in. There was a few other things that I wanted to mention as well. Maztec, it's a pipeline company. They were working with the Sad Lake Lateral Loop. They were coming through our homelands, and we were able to work directly with them, which benefit Tri-Res Greater. And Tri-Res Greater has received a $250,000 grant and has also purchased other yellow iron with that as well. We've had the ATCO power line come through, and Tri-Res Greater has worked closely with that. Also with that was the water line, and Kelsey Pipeline did that work along with Tri-Res Greater. We also had the sawmill, which received a $100,000 grant, and the casino renovations were $3.5 million. It has given it longevity now for the next 25 years, which is really important because Cold Lake First Nations is highly dependent on the FNDF funding, and we want to give kudos out to all of the staff at the casino, at the hotel. All these entities assist us so that we can continue to function. One more thing surrounding education. Presently, there are students from our nation utilizing Free Horse Society in Edmonton. It's unfortunate that, as the chief echoed earlier, that he is unable to identify who those students are. Free Horse gets those dollars for our nation, and we want to get those dollars back so that we could administer them. Also, we are topping up students who are getting post-secondary, so it's imperative that you contact the education department and let them know if you are using Free Horse. Like I said, we can't get that information to our students, so it's just word of mouth, but it's really important. We want to start supporting our students with the cost of everything going up. I think it's important that we start bumping up your living allowance and stuff. So the dollars in the education trusts will provide that now today. Masicho.
On the housing and infrastructure, we have accomplished a lot in the last 3 years. Subsequently, completion of phase 1 of the water line system to connect 90% of the homes on the south end of the Cold Lake First Nations with the Bonneville Water region. Integration of phase 2 waterline project, which will tie English Bay Little Reserve homes to the city of Cold Lake Waterline. New state-of-the-art water plant to ensure safe and abundant water for Cold Lake First Nations members. Sonova seen the need for homes on the 5 nations that surround the Cold Lake traditional weapons range. They stepped up to help the five surrounding nations to build homes. With the help of that, they committed to X amount of funding to help homes. With that, we're able to ensure 10 homes per year for the next 5 years. We started working on subdivisions to cut the cost to increase more homes. With the land use being so contentious with people's issues, we decided to go with the subdivisions to increase unity amongst people and to bring that communal love back to the community. With the help of Roy and the departments of grants, we supplied grants for renovations on abandoned homes. That's yet to be decided on who gets them and the condition of the home, the state of the condition that we're left in. But we are looking to renovate them. If they're worth saving, we're going to save them. Grants for renovations on elders' homes, special needs homes. We have to, again, thank Roy and his department and the staff for going out above and beyond to get those grants. And, help the people out best we can. Moving forward, we've been working with the city of Cold Lake to tie into our wastewater into their sewage lagoon, as ours is outdated and undersized at the moment. That's something that we're moving forward. Plans for the additional 20 to 30 homes in the next 3 years, infrastructure-wise. We're looking at infrastructure, roads, power lines, etc. Trying to secure a program for streetlights in the town site has been one of our major obstacles we've been looking to for grants to make that happen for the security of the people in the town sites. Increased roads, parking lot maintenance, and longevity of them is one of always been and always have been one of our main issues. The safety of our memberships driving on the roads, whether that be gravel, culverts, whatever. So it's something that we've been always ongoing working forward on that one. We've been currently working with getting some renovations on the band hall for a new kitchen, fridge, freezer, cabinets, etc. Dust suppression for the town site. That's something that we're looking at all our roads on the Cold Lake First Nations. 149. We have also been talking with the government to try to take over the maintenance contracts on our adjacent roads surrounding and through the nations. That's something we've been ongoing talking with, just for the safety of our people and the conditions of the road. It's not fair that we have to use them and we get overlooked. That's something that we've been fighting very adamantly to get that fixed up. We updated all band buildings, and we updated all the band buildings with air conditioning and heating units as they've been outdated and obsolete for parts. Bringing the council chambers to a modern standard for telecommunications for better communication to all the members when it comes to access and information, alerts, and just better communication. We designed a computer base for all the homes to keep track of the maintenance, the condition of the homes, how much money's been spent per each unit. Just moving that forth. That's our database. So we have that information when we do apply for grants and funding. That's something that we could use to our advantage. It's also intellectual property of us, so we are the only ones that have it, and it belongs to the nation. That's pretty well it. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Bernice Marshall, counselor. I was counselor for the past 3 years, sitting with my colleagues. At times, it was we went through the sickness here, the pandemic, and it really put a damper on a lot of things that we wanted to get done, but it seems like we couldn't go forward at times. But we just got to do what we have to do, and I thank the team here for working together through thick and thin. And I like to say at this time we did a good job. I know it, but I know for a fact because of the pandemic, everything was put a damper on a lot of things, key issues that we wanted to deal with. So in between time, I like to say this morning's a beautiful morning. I like to say that it's a beautiful day. And yes, at this time in point 2, we lost a lot of our members during this time through the COVID. So in saying that, I'd like to send my condolences to all the people that lost a loved one at this time. I'd like to report about the lands and resources of our nation. We expanded Primrose Cabins facilities and access area, got a new 24/7 access area at Burnt Lake, started cabin developments, obtained lease at Berry Point, and begin cabin development. We obtained maintenance contract with Parks and Recreation to begin the process of taking over English Bay Campground. Develop land-based training programs for youth and adults. Started a co-op program for youth in off-campus high school.
I'd just like to say it's been quite a whirlwind of ups and downs. For me personally, as chief of Coal Lake, we had a lot of obstacles. I'd like to give a shout out to our EOC team. When the pandemic first hit, we were the first ones to call a state of emergency in Alberta. We left everything there. We were quite successful on keeping the numbers down and the protection and safety of the nation. Everybody band together. I'd like to thank each and every one of you from the community for the respectfulness of all of us and the safety to ensure that we all got through this pandemic. And I'd like to, on a personal note, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for your prayers and your support when I got sick. That meant a lot. That's what brought me back from the brink. I was pretty bad shape from what I heard, but the prayers and the love of the community and the support of it brought me back. Masicho, I'm forever grateful for that. And on a personal note, I'd just like to say it's been an honor and very humbling, rewarding experience supporting you all, working for the people and working with my colleagues here. You get to know them on a personal level, the ups and downs. You're there for each other. A lot of the stuff that you guys don't see or hear on the street, but in those closed doors during this pandemic, we all supported each other. We were all there for each other, and we all felt the love for each other. It was very rewarding. At times we disagree. At the end of the day, we never left it all on the table, went home and, talked, apologized, and, it's just something that we all did. And, I have a newfound respect for each and every one of them. The people has been great working for them. We accomplished lots. It was, with this pandemic, this COVID is quite trying on the nations and the surrounding nations, as well as I work with the other nations. We're doing quite well compared to a lot of nations when it came to the COVID. We were very well ahead of the game with the help of administration, the staff, and everyone that took their part and the time to respect and one another and to realize the severity of the situation with this COVID. We all worked together to overcome it. We got by, and I feel my heart goes out to the people that we lost during this. From the new year on, we had quite a few passings. So my heart goes out to each and every one of you, as I know it's been quite hard dealing with grief. We all have lost someone we loved in these last 3 years. It's been it has its ups and downs, and it's rewarding, and it's also gratifying and humbling to serve each and every one of you. And like I said, I still stand true by my words to working with the people. It's always been the people. We work for you. You guys are our boss, from the smallest to the oldest. Respect, honor, truth, and integrity is something that we all have. I just, on a personal note, I'd like to thank my colleagues and the staff. Amazing job, and to all you people. Masicho, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Masicho.
Masicho Selot Ine.
Thank you very much.